Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, listen, man, I haven't had a chance to talk about this matchup and this fight, but I'm gonna talk about it because, gotta talk about it. It's heavyweight boxing, so we gotta talk about it. So, there's no official date yet, but the purse bid has already happened and it's already concluded. Hey, shout out to Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions, coming out in 2022, coming out the box swinging, destroying Eddie Hearn in the purse bid, and actually making a little bit of history. Escribiendo la historia, UK style. All right. Frank Warren beats Eddie Hearn in the purse bid for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, and in the process, actually, it's the biggest purse bid in the history of boxing. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing had bid $32 million for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Frank Warren bid $41 million for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. So the fight goes on. It's going to be on BT Sport via Queensberry Promotions. So hey, both fighters are going to get paid very well via the 80-20 split. It's going to give Dillian Whyte roughly about $8.5 million. So Whyte gets his big payday, and he finally gets his chance. Dillian Whyte, after all these years of complaining and crying and moaning, he finally gets his chance to prove that he is a world champion, as he takes on not just a world champion, but the world champion, the lineal world champion, the man who beat the man, Tyson Fury. A guy that, as far as I'm concerned, fight by fight, is making a case for himself as not just the greatest heavyweight of his generation, but one of the greatest heavyweights in the history of boxing. So it's going to be a tough task, but I like this fight a lot. Dillian Whyte, when we talk about him, has he lost some fights in his career? Yes, he's been knocked out by Josh for the British title. He's been knocked out by the Corpse of Perfection. But he's had some good fights on his own. And Dillian Whyte fighting a guy like Fury, I think is very interesting, because look, as much as I like Fury, I have to keep it objective and just be real about the fight and be real about Fury. This isn't exactly a guy in Fury who we could confuse with a George Chavallo or Arturo Gatti as far as having a chin. This is a guy that's been dropped by Nevin Pajic early in his career. He's been hurt by Nikolai Further. He's been dropped by Steve Cunningham. He's been obviously hurt by Deontay Wilder. He's been taken to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places by Otto Wallin. So Tyson Fury isn't exactly a guy that is indestructible. He can get hurt, and he's been hurt many times by punchers way less than Dillian Whyte. So that part of the fight makes the fight interesting to me. Fury is a guy that another reason that this fight intrigues me is because this will be Tyson Fury's first fight with Sugar Hill with somebody who is not Deontay Wilder. So it'll be interesting to see the continued evolution of that Kronk style and how he applies it against a guy like Dillian Whyte. Wilder's a heavyweight that's 6'7" with a big straight right hand as his best punch. Whyte's a bit of a different challenge, because Whyte's a guy that's a couple inches shorter than Wilder, and his money punch is the left hook. And because his money punch is the left hook, I'm looking very forward to seeing how Fury can defend the left hook. Whyte's a guy whose boxing skills have improved over the years. And it's a fight where Fury can't overlook Whyte. Fury can't think too much about Usyk or too much about Joshua or too much about any other guys in the division, because this is a guy that I would say, apart from Wilder, and I've said this in other videos going back as far as 3 years, this is a guy that, apart from Deontay Wilder, he has one of the hardest punches of anybody in the heavyweight division, which is, I think, that left hook. I think the Dillian Whyte left hook is one of the most dangerous punches any heavyweight can throw in the division. The Dillian Whyte left hook is something that could be the great equalizer in this fight. And Whyte's a guy that has a lot to prove, so that makes this fight interesting to me. But I'm almost swing it over to Pops so he can give his thoughts. Pops, Whyte versus Fury, what do you think about it?
I personally think that, like you said, I totally agree with what you were saying with Dillian Whyte, been mourning and crying and waiting and this and that and all this other reasons why the fight didn't happen, and the roads and this and that. But I'll be honest with you, he might be as strong as he wants, but I just don't think that he will beat Fury. Fury will totally dominate him. It's a lot quicker, a lot faster, movements better, and I don't think that Whyte will be able. He'll give him a challenge, and you might be right. That left hook might be his weapon. But if he doesn't come out and do something early, he's not stopping. He's not stopping Fury. Not saying that you're saying that, but I'm glad he's getting the fight. I'm glad he's getting his $8 million. So when he goes back, it's a win-loss for him. Put it that way. So good luck to him.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, good fight in the heavyweight division. Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. I'll definitely be talking more about it as they actually get a date and confirm everything and whatnot. You guys don't gotta worry too much. We're gonna be live for this one. And yeah, man. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good challenge for Fury because, and I'll end the video on this note. Fury's problem has never been winning those big fights. He actually performs better in those big fights. His problem has been consistency. Can he stay consistent? Can he stay at the top against guys that aren't perceived to be the best in the division? And you know, the great dominant heavyweight champions like, you know, your Klitschko's, your Lennox Lewis's, and your Larry Holmes and the Ali's and the Fraziers and all these guys. You know, these guys are looked at the way they're looked at because of their consistency. You know, and that's the one thing he's looking for in his career, and I'm looking at this being a step towards that consistency because Whyte is good, he's respected, he's definitely credible, he deserves a fight. He does belong in the ring with Fury, but he's not perceived to be on the level of a Joshua or Wilder or Usyk or these guys.
Basically saying his
mental discipline and focus.
Yeah, and does he get up for this fight as much as he gets up for a Wilder fight? Does he keep that mental confidence and strength? Because he's got to dominate. He is the best heavyweight, but he's got to go out there and do it. And what a best way to do it against Whyte, who's been talking crap the whole last few years. So I think you brought up that before about him, that he's a great fighter. We both support Fury, but you always say, is his mental state the same as it is consistency as far as his strength and dominating fighters? So
we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Fury, Dillian Whyte. Who do you guys think is gonna win? How do you see the fight playing out? Do you think Fury has the mental discipline and the focus to remain champion? Because people who hate Fury were saying last fight, you know, hey, well, he finally made a title defense. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.